was a productive night in the Thunderdome, wasn't it? I think that went very well indeed. It's now 3:30 in the morning, and I can think of no better time than to record a lovely wrestling news video. Let's take a look at the headlines. We have reports that WWE Superstars are now being contractually forced to stream on Twitch. We have a huge update on the WrestleMania 37 location, and a surprising WWE status update on one Kairi Sane. We'll tell you more in a bit. This whole WWE Twitch situation just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. Yesterday, it was reported that WWE are taking control of WWE Superstars, their Twitch accounts, overseeing them financially, and then paying a revenue split to the WWE Superstars, the people who are making the content. So WWE will keep a chunk of the money, but however, on top of that, the money that the Superstars earn, instead of it being all of that cash, that also goes toward their downside guarantee. So essentially they will be making less money doing Twitch than ever. But as I say, it gets weirder. With a tweet that just went out a couple of hours ago from Andrew Yang, former US presidential candidate, who's been really involved in this whole matter and has promised that if the Democrats get in at the next election, that the whole independent contractor WWE situation will be looked at. So the tweet reads, hearing from talent that WWE is forcing performers to sign new contracts that include Twitch. Streaming on Twitch will become a work obligation, and if talent doesn't stream, they will forego earnings, be suspended, or face penalties. Doesn't sound like independent contractors. No, it doesn't. This is just mental, absolutely crazy. I think some news websites maybe have misunderstood this a little bit. Not that it makes it much better. Maybe the wording there sounds like new WWE talent, people signing new contracts, will be obligated to do Twitch whether they want to or not. My interpretation of that is that if you want to do Twitch, you sign the contract, you say you want to do it, and in the same way that superstars have to work a certain number of live events, for example, you will have to do a certain amount of Twitch streaming, so that WWE make that sweet dollar. Crazy. I don't know what else to say about this, because it is just getting so insane, and once again, yeah, it calls into question the whole independent contractor, WWE contractual situation that it's becoming increasingly apparent needs to be looked into desperately. I can't believe that this is happening. It's just absolutely crazy. It'll be interesting to see who sticks around on the platform after this. There have obviously been reports that some of them are making huge amounts of money, Paige specifically making six figures a year, high six figures a year doing Twitch. And it will become a lot less appealing to do so, which is a shame because I think it's a great way for wrestlers to interact with fans. So we will keep you updated again on the situation. Once we know, you will know. But can this get any crazier? It's Vince McMahon. Yes, it can. Next up, we have a huge update regarding WrestleMania 37, specifically where that show may emanate from. This comes courtesy of our friends at Inside the Ropes. Hello! That Kenny impression's just getting worse and worse, isn't it? Who have reported that sources close to the situation have told them that WWE have put plans in place for WrestleMania 37 to take place from Tampa, from the Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, which is where WrestleMania 36 was meant to take place. Now, it has been announced that WrestleMania 37 was supposed to be in Inglewood, in California, and it was going to be WrestleMania Hollywood, but it looks like plans may be changing. I guess the thing with this is everything is so up in the air right now. Who knows where we're going to be come April? It might end up being in the bloody Performance Center again, for all we know. But it's interesting to note that WWE are putting these plans in place. Maybe it's a backup as well. Maybe they still would like to take WrestleMania to California, to Inglewood, and maybe this is just in case. But we will see. We will let you know, once again, when we know, you will know. In fact, imagine, the next story that I'm about to do, right, regarding Kairi Sane. Flash her picture up now. So obviously we all wanted to see Kairi Sane in that big bloody lovely pirate ship, and we didn't get to see it. And then Kairi Sane left WWE, or did she? Because we got an update from Kairi Sane herself, who just took to Twitter, originally posting this in Japanese and then translating it. So here it is in English. Greeting from Japan. WWE Superstar Kairi Sane here. I have moved back to Japan and will still train and support WWE from here. So very interesting, first of all. She's calling herself WWE Superstar Kairi Sane. It was reported that WWE desperately wanted to sign her to another deal, and it looks like maybe that has taken place, but not necessarily to wrestle. She's saying there that she's still going to support WWE, that she's still going to train, so I guess that means she's going to become a trainer. This follows lots and lots of rumors over years now that WWE are looking to launch an NXT Japan, and maybe Kairi hasn't signed with Stardom as she was believed to be doing. I can't think of much better an ambassador for WWE in Japan than Kairi Sane. And obviously with the connections that she's got out there in the wrestling world, it might help them from a business sense too. So it's good to hear that she is doing well. She was moving back to spend more time with her husband and just essentially be happier. I think she wanted to be back in Japan because she sort of missed home, is what had been reported. So it's good to hear that she sounds very happy out there. And whatever she does next, I mean, she's greatly missed. I really do miss seeing her on WWE TV, but maybe we haven't seen the last of her yet. Next up, we've got a quick injury update on Angel Garza, who was, of course, injured during his match teaming with Andrade versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles at Clash of Champions. It was really scary at the time. In fact, the referee threw up the X, and it was being reported as potentially being quite serious, and then those reports changed, saying, okay, maybe it isn't too bad, it looks like it might be a hip injury, but we have an update from the man himself from his YouTube channel. And he said, they told me to get an MRI, and I got the results, and thankfully it wasn't anything involving the tendons or with my hip, as some outlets have reported. It was a quad tear, and we already began treatment. And so, I mean, quad tears can take months and months and months to recover from. But, he continues, I still have more evaluations to do, but if all goes well, I think I might be out from a week to maybe 15 days. Thank God that it wasn't anything long term, like 5 or 6 months. They told me if I continued, I could have completely torn the quad and would have been out for a very long time. And he says, I don't think it will even be a month to fully recover. So, great news. What else do you say about that? He's been one of the stars of the lockdown era, along with Andrade. He's been working his arse off. He's been on basically every Raw for the last many months anyway, and he's great. He's a future star, and in my opinion, potentially a future world champion. I think he's that good, so it's good to hear that it's not serious, and that he can come back nice and soon and grace us with his presence once again. Lovely. Next up, the identity of the mystery woman who has been appearing on SmackDown has finally been revealed. We've seen her legs, we've seen her side with the tattoo, and we all figured out exactly who it was going to be, and it is, of course, Carmella. Carmella is coming back to WWE TV. We don't actually know where she's going to be. She mentioned in this promo, a heelish promo, that wherever she's drafted to, she's going to be untouchable. So will it be Raw? Will it be SmackDown? Will it be 205 Live? Who knows? I think, just because they started airing the vignettes, that it'll probably be SmackDown, but we'll find out. As I say, she is going to be a heel. She was going on saying wherever she ends up, she's going to be untouchable, and she was sort of burying some of the previous stuff that she's done, saying that it was she had forgotten who she was, and there were pictures of like her and R-Truth, and saying that's not her anymore. And then she was saying that she's better than every single one of us, which isn't very nice. However true it is. I think Carmella is somebody who has improved so much. You put her in there with the right opponent and she'll give you a really decent match now. So excited to see her back. And yeah, roll on the draft, eh? Speaking of the draft, 3 huge matches have been announced for next week's SmackDown Draft special. By the way, I'm streaming both the SmackDown and the Raw draft, so it's next Friday for SmackDown. They get it first, and then Raw the following Monday. I'll be doing reactions to both of those. And it feels like WWE are absolutely throwing everything at the SmackDown one. So maybe expect the same for Raw. Big matches these. First of all, Bayley versus Sasha Banks for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Next week on SmackDown. Crazy. It's going to end in shenanigans. There's not going to be a clean finish here. No way. Especially if reports are to be believed that they're going to do the match at Hell in a Cell. It looks increasingly likely that that's going to be the case. But even though a Hell in a Cell match should really be the end of a feud, I would expect this to go all the way, at least probably to the Royal Rumble, if not WrestleMania. WWE must know they've got money on their hands. It's a great feud. Next up, Kevin Owens versus The Fiend. So, Kevin Owens doing the KO show last night with Alexa Bliss. I'm not going to tell you too much about it. I'm not going to run down the whole thing because Sam is coming up with Graded a little later this afternoon. But The Fiend made a big appearance. Alexa Bliss was great in this, by the way. Anyway, The Fiend made a big appearance and the claw on Kevin Owens, which has set up this match. Who knows where Kevin Owens will end up? Will he come over to SmackDown? Maybe The Fiend will go over to Raw. Time will tell. So we've got a match there. And finally, Big E versus Sheamus in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Big E is going to have, fingers crossed, a big singles run now. You've got to believe. In the way that he's being built, he's getting big victories. And this looks like it's going to be not just a great match, because I really do think it will be a great match, but also if he wins, he's defeating a former WWE champion, and he is getting big wins over big stars, and long may it continue. I was asked during the stream that I've just done who might defeat heel Roman, which babyface could possibly take the strap off heel Roman, and genuinely there is a chance that could be Big E if he's built well enough. It's a match that I would love to see. I don't know if WWE would do it, but we thought the same about Kofi. We'll see. Anyway, I'm off to bed now. Enjoy your weekend. I will see you tomorrow night for NXT TakeOver reactions. So you can set a reminder right now, youtube.com/cultaholic/live. Buy the t-shirt, cultaholicshop.com, blah, 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 blah. Good night.